All right, so the first thing we're going to recall is Newton's second law of motion. Not the same thing, okay? So Newton's second law. Do you remember Newton's second law of motion? Yes. Okay, I want the formula. Just the formula. F net is equal to mass multiplied by acceleration. This is Newton's second law of motion. Okay? Now, in grade 10, my lovely, you learn about acceleration. Do you remember the definition of acceleration? No. Okay, so acceleration is the rate of change in velocity. Now, what do you have to know? What is rate? Whenever we're speaking about rate, rate means dividing by time. That is rate. So anytime as from now, you see the word rate, it means you are dividing by time. So rate in change in velocity is not other thing than change in velocity divided by time. This is what we call acceleration. It's a vector quantity and you learned in grade 10, long ago. Do you understand? Good. Now, what is change in velocity? Yesterday, we learned that any change in physics is final minus initial. Is that correct? So we can say that this one is final velocity minus initial velocity, that is rating, that is change in velocity, divided by time. That is rate in change in velocity. Are you with me? So what we are going to do now is substitute this formula there. Instead of acceleration as a physical quantity, we are going to substitute its definition or its formula in there. Okay? So when you do that, what will you get? You will get F net equal to mass multiplied by final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Do you understand that? Okay. So now what we are going to do? We're going to solve that one. It's mathematics. We're going to multiply mass for final velocity and mass times initial velocity as it is there. So what we get? F net is equal to mass final velocity. Is that correct? Simple math. Minus mass initial velocity, everything divided by change in time. Are you with me? Okay, and now I'm going to ask, what is this?
Change in momentum.
What do you say? Change in momentum. All that you see on top there is final momentum minus initial momentum. Is that correct? So we can get the conclusion that F net is equal to change in momentum divided by change in time. Are you with me? That is coming from there. Do you understand? Amazing. This is Newton's second law in terms of momentum. But let's do it, let's read properly. We say that every time you divide by time, we say rate. So who can read for me this one? Who can read for me that formula? Yes, Tutu? You? Who are you? Pamelo. Yes, Pamelo?
The net resulting force is equal to the rate of change of momentum.
And that is Newton's second law in terms of momentum. The net force is equal to the rate in change in momentum. So at the end of the year, the formula won't be like that. The formula will be manipulated differently, and what you're going to have is going to be F net multiplied by time equal to change in momentum. That is what you have in the exams. If you rearrange it, then you get the Newton's second law in terms of momentum. Do you understand?